a Trump biographer had basically said that the ex-squatter is projecting his mental stability and mental instability on Hutchinson after January 6th. So when Trump calls somebody a liar, and when he calls and he says that they're not living in reality, he's basically describing himself because Trump doesn't live in reality, and Trump lies a lot. So it's nothing new. Now, the former squatter Donald Trump used a far-right channel to attack former senior White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson. But one of his biographers alleges that his comments are all just projections. Um, Basically, he goes on to say that this lady yesterday, there's something wrong with her. Yeah, Trump, there is something wrong with you. Um, he basically says that the woman is living in a fantasy land, which he's describing himself. Basically goes on to say that he claims that she had serious problems, which he's also describing himself, and mental problems. Yeah, Trump, you got a lot of mental problems right there. Trump claims that he hardly knows who she is, when in reality she worked inside his White House, so he fucking knows goddamn well who she is. In the past, Trump has been caught trying to discredit former top aides by claiming he doesn't know who they are, despite videos and photos of them standing next to him. Um, he infamously called his foreign policy advisor George Papadopoulos nothing more than an errand boy, when in reality he was told to organize foreign trips for Trump and to speak to international agents as a representative of the campaign. Now, similar to Papadopoulos, Hutchinson has been photographed with Trump numerous times, and she's well known in Trump's world. The House Select Committee began the hearing with her by showing photos of her on Air Force One and wherever the hell the Chief of Staff Mark Meadows went. Well, we always expected the Trump world to try and discredit her, and they're not disappointed us in that regard. Representative Zed Zoe Lofgren, who's a Democrat from California, had told NBC News on Sunday. Now, the testimony that Cassidy Hutchinson gave is credible, but she really has nothing to gain by stepping forward and telling the truth about this. And Trump world has everything to lose if somebody tells the truth. So they're doing their best to try and attack her and to discredit everything she says. Now, Trump biographer Mike D'Antonio has written books about Trump using these tactics, and he explained that it's straight out of the playbook. We're reminded of the saying that the character is destiny. So now we're seeing play out. Now we're seeing the play out of Donald Trump's destiny, based on the character, and Mrs. Hutchinson's destiny playing out based on her character, and we know that in the wings of Pat Cipollini, and we're going to try to see where this character leads them. Now, Donald Trump has always done this, and the strange thing is that it has worked for him. It has allowed him to attract only the most loyal sycophants who are afraid of him. It also has allowed him to bully these people into what they call a submission. Now, D'Antonio has noted it's interesting that Trump actually uses the exact same words to attack people. He always says that people are crazy when it's him. People are always seeking to raise their profile. People are always just making up stories like he doesn't. Well, who does this remind you of? Who does it remind you of when someone who is making up crazy stories, and trying to raise their profile are being a little bit crazy? It reminds us of the former squatter. Now, those who know Trump have been asked about what they witnessed from the ex-squatter's behavior, and that Hutchinson has described, and what Hutchinson described is accurate. Now, it sounds like the person that he imagined himself to be, said D'Antonio about Trump's behavior. So this is a fellow who told me he's the hero in his own comic book, which he isn't. That he loves to fight all kinds of fights, even physical ones. The record doesn't really show he's really done that. Now, the former lawyer Michael Cohen explained that he's never known Trump to actually get into physical altercations with anyone, even as a kid. There are rape allegations in about a Trump's book, as well as sexual assault and sexual harassment allegations from over 20 different women. Trump even bragged on video about sexually assaulting them. I think it's unlikely that he would somehow make his way across the beast and grab the steering wheel, but I think it's the kind of story that people would tell about him. The part that is credible to me is the idea that he insisted on going to the Capitol himself, and now he can only tremble at the thought of what would happen if he had done that. Now, the outcome would have been very different. The idea that he imagined being the squatter that would take over the car and force it to go to the Capitol is how he would have thought about himself, but it's not what I expect he did. Now, if you like the video, you can get the video, like and subscribe to my channel, RBW King. You can also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. And if you want to support my work even further, you can donate to my Patreon link, which you can find in the About section of YouTube. For just a little as a few bucks a month, your donation can help go a long way, and thanks for listening.